Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro. Focus question. How did Mount Kilimanjaro form? What are its characteristics and what does it represent to people around the world? A roof of Africa. As the highest peak on the continent of Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro has earned the nickname the Roof of Africa. The mountain measures 5,895 meters, 19,341 feet in altitude and rises 4,877 meters, 16,000 feet above the surrounding land. It is also the world's tallest freestanding mountain, one not part of a mountain range. Mount Kilimanjaro is located on the country of Tanzania, close to its border with Kenya. Kilimanjaro National Park, a World Heritage Site, was established in 1973 to protect the area of the mountain above the tree line. The park was expanded in 2005 to protect the forested areas lower down on its slopes. As a national park, the mountain's habitat and life forms are under the protection of the Tanzanian government. 3 peaks. Mount Kilimanjaro began as a volcano. It started forming about 750,000 years ago as a result of eruptions in the Great Rift Valley. An enormous crack in Earth's crust located in East Africa. Those eruptions created Shira, Kilimanjaro's oldest volcano. Shira stopped erupting some 500,000 years ago, leaving a huge caldera when it collapsed. Over the next 40,000 years, 2 other volcanoes, Mawenzi and Kibo, formed. Repeated eruptions over time caused Kimbo's summit to grow taller than the other 2 and created various features in all 3 peaks. The most recent strong eruption occurred about 200 years ago. Glaciers have also helped shape Mount Kilimanjaro. Because of their great weight, they have curved the underlying rock into ridges and valleys as they have moved downhill. It may seem surprising that Kilimanjaro has glaciers at all since it's located so close to the equator. Standing only about 322 kilometers, 200 miles from the equator, it has warm weather year-round at lower elevations. The whiteness of the glaciers reflects much of the sunlight that reaches them, allowing their ice to remain cool. Naming the mountain. Kilimanjaro is a name believed to have come from the word Kilima, which means mountain in Swahili, and Njaro. The Kichaga word referring to the whiteness of Mount Kilimanjaro's snowy peaks. Even so, the mountain's glaciers are slowly melting because of global warming as well as nearby forests being cut down. The loss of trees reduced the amount of moisture in the air around the mountain. This leads to fewer clouds and less rain in the area, which increases evaporation of moisture from the glaciers. Kilimanjaro's glaciers have lost more than 4/5 of their mass since 1912, when they were first measured. Some researchers predict that they may disappear completely by 2016. The ice in glaciers holds important historical information about Earth's atmosphere and climate. Kilimanjaro's ice holds the only such information for all of Africa. If it melts, that information will be lost forever, so will much of Kilimanjaro's beauty. Do you know? Ice cores are cylinders of ice drilled out of an ice sheet or glacier. Bubbles in the ice hold samples of Earth's atmosphere from thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years ago. Scientists study these air pockets to measure how the makeup of gases in the atmosphere has changed over long periods of time. Ice cores also hold clues about past temperatures and other aspects of the environment. The Chaga people. People have lived on or near Mount Kilimanjaro for centuries. At the beginning of the 11th century, many people from across Africa migrated to northern Tanzania. Many of these people were from various Bantu tribes. They settled the southern and eastern slopes of Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Meru, and the nearby town of Moshi, establishing themselves as a new community, the Chaga people, while several different tribes were already living in the area when the Chaga arrived. Eventually, only the Chaga remained. The Chaga make up the third largest ethnic group in Tanzania. While the Chaga have remained Bantu speakers, their language has several dialects that can sound like whole separate languages. Before German colonists and missionaries arrived in the late 1800s, the many Chaga chiefdoms were often at war, but after German colonial rule imposed order, the Chaga banded together. They developed advanced methods to farm the mountain slopes and prospered. They continued to improve their farming methods after Tanzania gained independence in 1961. Today, the Chaga are the wealthiest and the most highly organized communities in Tanzania. Bananas are their main crop, but they also grow yams, beans, and maize in Kilimanjaro's rich volcanic soil. Around the world, the Chaga are famous for exporting Arabica coffee, which now plays a major part in Tanzania's national economy. Over time, their traditional ways of life have changed, but they still have a strong sense of pride in their cultural identity. Visiting Kilimanjaro. At least 25,000 people from around the world climb Mount Kilimanjaro each year. As the tallest mountain in Africa, Kilimanjaro is one of the 7 summits, the highest peaks on Earth's 7 continents. Climbing these 7 peaks is a goal of many mountaineers. Kilimanjaro is one of the easiest of the 7 summits to climb. Most of the routes to Kibo's Peak, the highest point of Mount Kilimanjaro, do not require training. Climbers don't need ropes or mountaineering gear, just good hiking boots and camping equipment. Still, Kilimanjaro is not an easy climb. To avoid altitude sickness, climbers must be careful to adjust slowly to the thinner air as they move up the mountain. A round-trip climb typically takes between 5 and 9 days. About 2/3 of the people who attempt it succeed. Reaching Kibo's summit isn't the only reason to travel to Kilimanjaro. Many nature hikes are available for less ambitious visitors. These include day trips to Lake Chela, a beautiful crater lake, and Shira Plateau, which formed when Kilimanjaro's first volcano collapsed. Trout fishing is popular in Kilimanjaro's rivers, and the entire area is great for photography. Tourism brings more than $20 million each year into the local economy. Mountain climbing and other activities create jobs for guides, porters, hotel staff, food producers, travel agents, construction workers, and others, boosting the economy of the region. Plants and animals. One of the amazing parts of the experience of climbing Kilimanjaro is the exchanging scenery. Climbers pass through several different ecosystems as they move up the mountain. The cultivated zone, 800 to 1,800 meters in altitude, 2,625 to 5,806 feet, receives the most rainfall and has many rivers formed by melted ice from glaciers. Due to the plentiful water, this zone contains farmland and small villages. The montane forest, 1,800 to 2,800 meters, 5,906 to 9,186 feet, is where the climb begins. The south and east sides have thicker vegetation because they get the most rainfall. Monkeys, elephants, leopards, giraffes, rhinos, and other animals are present but hard to spot. Above the tree line, the heather and moorland zone, 2,800 to 4,000 meters, 9,186 to 13,123 feet, sometimes listed at 2 separate zones. It's drier and windier than the forest below. Temperatures can reach 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit during the day and drop below freezing at night. Climbers often see clouds at eye level, while the grasses and giant heathers are the main vegetation. The most common animal is the 4-striped grass mouse. Larger animals sometimes winter up the slopes but don't stay long. The Alpine Desert, 4,000 to 5,000 meters, 13,123 to 16,404 feet, receives less than 20 centimeters, 8 inches of rain each year. The few plants that can survive at this altitude must be able to withstand strong sunlight as well as sub-zero temperatures. Animals include the birds of prey and a high-altitude spider. Almost nothing lives in Kibo Summit, 5,000 to 5,895 meters, 16,404 to 19,341 feet because of the lack of water. Lichens are the main life forms. A symbol of freedom. Tanzania, where Mount Kilimanjaro is located, was called Tanganyika. Before it gained independence from Britain in 1961, 2 years earlier, the country's future president, Julius Nyerere, said, "We, the people of Tanganyika, would like to light a candle and put it on the top of Mount Kilimanjaro." He envisioned the candle shining beyond Tanganyika's borders, giving hope where there was despair, love where there was hate, and dignity where before there was only humiliation. Because of Nyerere's words, Kilimanjaro has become a symbol for independence for all of Africa. Kibo's summit, called Uhuru Peak, gets its name from the Swahili word for freedom, a jewel of Africa. Mount Kilimanjaro is a rich natural area that is home to a wide variety of plants and animals, some found nowhere else on Earth. It is also a dramatic example of the creative force of volcanoes and a fascinating part of Earth's geologic history. To travelers who come from every corner of the world, Kilimanjaro is a mountain to climb and a personal goal to reach. To local people, it is a source of prosperity and pride as well as a powerful symbol of freedom and self-governance. And to people from all walks of life who are lucky enough to see it, Mount Kilimanjaro